Here's how I beat Runescape's hardest challenge, the Inferno, as a vegan Ironman. This video covers my 2-year Runescape journey, from an account fresh off Tutorial Island, all the way to Zuck's home underneath the Karamja volcano. It was a long road filled with new and unique strategies, insanely long grinds, and a handful of emotional moments, so I hope you enjoy the ride. I recorded all these clips at different times, and I'm only now editing it all together, so forgive me if my voice tends to jump around a little bit. My goal with this video was just to tell the complete story of the account, so I put together some clips from when I was playing the account, some stuff recorded later, and a handful of clips that relate to the story of the background of the account. With all that preamble out of the way, it's time to dive in. Here's how I beat the Inferno as a vegan Ironman. But what is a vegan Ironman? Ironman is an official game mode where you have to play self-sufficiently. You aren't able to trade with other players, use the Grand Exchange, or pick up items dropped by anyone else. In other words, if I want an item, then I'll need to obtain it myself. The vegan addition to this is an unofficial rule set that I've added onto Ironman mode to make it more difficult. I'm not a vegan in real life, I'm just playing the character as if he were a vegan. But what does it mean to be a vegan in a video game? I'm gonna follow 2 simple rules. First, I can't harm any living things, so I won't be able to attack pretty much all NPCs. The only exceptions being things that aren't alive, like pest control portals, castle wars barricades, or the undead, like skeletons and ghosts. The creatures in the Inferno, the Tazar, are technically living beings, but I needed a difficult end goal to aim towards for this account. If this was vegan versus Vedium instead, the account would have been finished in under a week. The second part of being vegan is that I can't use any animal products. This includes parts of the animal, like their meat, bones, and hide, but it also includes anything that the animal creates, like milk, eggs, and bird nests. As you can imagine, this significantly limits what items I'll be able to use and how I'll be able to train. For example, I can't train Hunter or Slayer at all, and I'm completely blocked off from Prayer's main training method, Bury in Bones. Other than completing the Inferno at the very end of the account, and completing Tutorial Island at the very start of the account, I'm not going to be making any exceptions to my vegan rules. I'm not going to be completing Druidic Ritual to unlock Herblore, I'm not going to be trading any Hunter or Slayer, and I'm not going to complete Priest in Peril to unlock Mauritania. The goal of this account is to get past all those obstacles, all those restrictions, and beat RuneScape's hardest solo PvM challenge, the Inferno. So, how am I going to beat the Inferno? I've got my Infernal equipment and inventory shown here, but for now, all the items are a secret. All of the items will eventually be revealed over the course of the video, but feel free to guess and think about what vegan items you think I'll be bringing into RuneScape's hardest challenge. I've split up my plan into 3 main steps. Step 1, food. Usually, people would use Cerebrus in the Inferno, but since those have bird nests in them, I'm going to have to use something else. Just like in real life, most food in RuneScape isn't vegan, especially the food that heals a lot. The highest healing food is a basket of strawberries that would heal 30 total, but healing would be super slow using those, so they really aren't the best choice. The next highest healing vegan item is summer pies. It's made with apple, strawberry, watermelon flour, and water, but no milk and eggs. It heals 11 HP per bite, so 22 total. It's a lot worse than Cerebrus since it only heals for around 1/3 of what those do, but it's the best thing that I have, so it's what I'm going to be using in the Inferno. Of course, there is a problem. You need 95 cooking to make summer pies, and my options for training cooking in a vegan way are really limited. The only option I have at level 1 is bread, so I started cooking those while I looked through the wiki to figure out how I was going to get to 95 cooking. Gnome food stood out as being a really solid cooking method, despite it being pretty much useless to everyone else because of how time-consuming it is to bind all the ingredients. It actually gives a lot of XP for each item you cook. But according to the wiki, you have to complete the tutorial first, which makes you cook using toad legs or worms or something like that, so those are out. Making jugs of wine looked like the second best option, starting at level 35 cooking, but it had a massive drawback. I was going to need a little over 26,000 grapes to get my cooking level high enough to make summer pies. On most accounts, getting 26,000 grapes wouldn't be too bad. You could just kill a bunch of Zulrah or KQ, or you could just buy it from the RFD chest, but I can't kill those bosses, And I also can't complete Cook's Assistant to unlock the RFD chest, so those are out. I'm gonna have to farm those 26,000 grapes myself. The only way of getting grape seeds is from Tide Farm, so I'm gonna get that unlocked and then park myself there for the next couple months. I stole some seeds to get up to 34 farming, I maxed out my Hasidious favor, and I also got full graceful, which got me up to 70 agility. Yeah, Tithe Farm sucks. I'm just gonna double check that I can't actually just skip the gnome tutorial and make the food without doing it. Because this is just terrible. Wow, the wiki was actually wrong about something. Because it worked. I wish I had tested this out before I maxed out my Hasidious favor, but oh well. I'm gonna do a few calculations and figure out how this looks. Okay, it looks like it's gonna be 30,000 veg balls. So now I've got to make the decision. I can either make those 30,000 veg balls or stick to the 26,000 grapes plan. Veg balls are going to be a bit more useful for training down the line since they don't drain my stats. So I'm going to go with that. Technically, it's a little bit slower than doing the grapes. It's actually a lot slower, but I'm really sick of Tithe Farm, so I'm just going to go with the veg balls. Of course, veg balls have their own issues, since I'm going to have to buy all the ingredients to make them. I'm going to need 30,000 of the doughs and the equal leaves, and 6 to 1,000 potatoes and onions, which works out to a little bit over 400k. And I know this sounds stupid, but I'm going to get that gold from doing pest control. Pest control is a minigame where you protect a knight at the center of an island from monsters that pour out of portals along the shore. However, I don't actually have to kill any of those monsters to participate. I can just attack the portals themselves since they aren't alive. At the end of each round, you're awarded GP and points that you can redeem from Void Knight armor or combat XP. I actually need the pest control points anyways for a secret project that I've got going on in the background that I haven't been showing the clips for, so I might as well get started on stacking up the pest control points for that and get my gold from there. So, quick recap of the last couple weeks. I trained up my combat stats. I got a rune spear from Zaya, and I went to pest control. The only problem is that I'm really not strong enough with a rune spear. I'm failing like 80% of the games just because I'm not hitting enough to keep my contribution meter high. And even on the games that I do win, since I'm on the beginner boat, I'm only getting 3 points a game. So it is just terrible. I'm going to need to just stop and reevaluate. So I just spent a bunch of time looking around on the wiki for upgrades, and it turns out that I can actually complete Lost City to unlock the Dragon Dagger and the Dragon Longsword, since the only things that I actually have to kill for that are the zombie to get the axe, and that's undead of course, and the tree spear that you kill is spectral, so that's also undead since it's a ghost. So I'm going to take a little detour, get that done. I just finished training up my crafting a bit, and I beat Lost City, so I can now use the Dragon Dagger and the Dragon Longsword. I don't actually have a cut diamond to go access the shop where they sell them, but I can buy a Dragon Dagger from the guy south of Baxorian Falls, so I'm going to pick that up. I've got a feeling that the spec's going to be really good at pest control, so I'll get that, and we'll see how it is. The Dragon Dagger's a lot better than the Rune Sphere. I'm still not succeeding 100% of the time. It's probably closer to like 50 or 60%, but that's good enough for now. I'm going to end up getting 2,000 pest control points, which should give me plenty of money for the veg balls. So the next clip is going to be when that's all done. There we go. It's been around 2 months off and on. I took a couple breaks But there we go, 2,000 pest control points and slightly over 500k GP. So that should be enough to get the cooking level for summer pies. Starting the veg ball grind now. The shop that sells all the ingredients has a pretty limited stock, so I'm gonna probably have to hop worlds a whole bunch, but the next clip is gonna be when I've got all of that done. This is a note from the future where I'm editing the video together. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the backstory of why I made this account. I've split it into 3 parts across this video. It's not super connected to Runescape, but it's very relevant to the account itself. Just putting it out there in case anyone else feels or felt the same way that I did. So, part 1, I was in my mid-20s, and I'd pretty much just been posting through life. I would try a new hobby and bail on it after a few weeks, you know, write chapter 1 for 5 different books that never got finished. Kept starting workout regimens and quit before I could see any results. And then I got cancer. And I realized how much of the time in my life I'd wasted. And now there was a solid chance that I was running out a lot faster than I anticipated. And I felt so disappointed and angry at myself for how I had lived. And in a way, this challenge account is a reflection of that urge to have accomplished something that I feel proud of. There we go. So all the veg balls are done, 90 cooking obtained. I'm still 5 levels short, but I can actually get a +5 boost from the Chef's Delight Ale, which I can brew myself at Keldegrim, so I'll go take care of that. Pretty sure this is actually the only time that I've ever brewed something in RuneScape. Totally dead content. I got 50 construction with my leftover gold and created a Chef's Delight barrel in my POH, because that gives infinite doses of Chef's Delight, because otherwise I have to make it every time I want to make some summer pies. So the only annoying thing is that you've got to bring the ingredients in with you to the POH, because if you try to take the Chef's Delight out, it just disappears. But I can bring the ingredients in, make 6 at a time. Should be good to go. There we go, that's the first summer pies made. Took around 5 months, but that's the first step in the Inferno plan complete. I've got the best in slot food for the account, and I've got 30,000 veg balls that I can use for training in the future, so looking good. Also, just a side note, I got all the ingredients for the summer pies, the watermelons and strawberries and apples, from farming. So in a way, it's kind of good that I did that little bit of tithe farm, because otherwise I wouldn't have had a high enough farming level to get the watermelons. So all worked out in the end. Now that the best in slot food is done, we're going to be focusing on getting best in slot armor. The plan is for me to use Void. Better range gear is either made out of dragonhide or locked behind bosses that I'm unable to kill. There's only one problem. Void armor requires 22 prayer, and I can't bury bones. I didn't show any clips of it earlier, but I've actually been lamping prayer since the start of this account, since it's my only method of trading prayer. I'll unlock better methods later, but for now that's all there is. So, while I keep lamping prayer in the background, I'm going to work on obtaining the other armor pieces that I'm going to need for the Inferno. Prayer bonus is the #1 most important thing for me to have. A higher prayer bonus means less prayer drain, which means less prayer potions needed. This is vital because prayer potions are incredibly difficult to get on my account, since I'm unable to make them myself because I can't complete Druidic Ritual to unlock herb lore. Luckily, I can fill in 3 armor slots with prayer gear from the same source, Medium Clues. I can get a Blessing for a +1 bonus, Holy Sandals for +3, and a Stole for a ridiculous +10 prayer bonus. I'd also be happy with Ranger Boots instead of Holy Sandals, but I definitely prefer the prayer bonus over the ranged accuracy. And they aren't super rare either. I calculated it, and it's a 1 out of 29 for a blessing, 1 out of 95 for a stole, and 1 out of 142 to get either the sandals or the boots. The best method for getting medium clues is eclectic implings, but I only have level 1 hunter and catching implings doesn't seem very vegan. The monsters that I'm able to kill that drop medium clues also wouldn't be very efficient. Luckily, there are 2 other decent methods of getting medium clues that don't require any combat at all. On the Isle of Souls, there's the dungeon with the chest inside that can be stolen from at level 28 thieving, and it has a 1 out of 100 chance of giving you a medium clue. However, it has a drawback of a 1 out of 6 chance of teleporting you out if you fail the pickpocket, and you need to do a long run past high-level monsters to get back to the chest. Once I get level 64 thieving, I'll be able to move to the stone chest underneath mulch instead. It's got the same 1 out of 100 chance of medium clue, but it's only got a 1 out of 8 chance of teleporting you out if you fail, with a much shorter and safer run back to the chest. These chests also have other items in them that aren't medium clues, but they're completely useless to me, so I'll be ignoring them. To prepare for the medium clue grind, I train my magic level up from 1 to 55, first on zombies and then at the Archaeus library, in order to create a bunch of POH portals. I also leveled up my defense and range so that I could complete both of these medium clue steps, and I ended up pushing my range a little bit higher to meet the level 42 requirement for wearing Void. Okay, now I'm as ready as I'll ever be for the medium clue grind. However, I'm locked out of doing a lot of clue steps, either because of quest requirements, because they require killing NPCs, or because I would need to wear armor that isn't vegan. I'm locked out of 51 out of the possible 158 clue steps. That's not actually too bad. It's around a 68% chance of being able to complete any individual step. However, to complete a medium clue, you'll need to succeed on that 68% chance 3 to 5 times in a row in order to actually get a casket, which only has a 32.6% chance of happening. Okay, first clue. Purple sweets. Not bad. Second clue. Nothing. I'm not going to comment on every chest. I just wanted to look at the first couple in case I got something good. Okay, yeah, this isn't working out. I've failed the last 5 times I've tried to complete a clue, but luckily there is a method that I can use to increase my chance of completion by a lot. Clue juggling. It's impossible to hold multiple clues at the same time. However, there is a workaround. If you have multiple clues on the ground, then the number of steps completed will increase no matter which clue you're actually completing. And the only way that that number gets reset is if you get a new clue drop. So, if I complete 3 steps on the first clue while picking up and dropping a second clue, if I reach a step that I can't complete on the first one, I can pick up where I left off on the second clue, and keep trying to reach that casket without losing progress. This substantially increases the probability that I can complete a given clue, with the drawback that completing clues is a lot more tedious, and I also need to obtain multiple completable steps before I can start trying to complete one. Here's a calculation that I ran on the probabilities of getting a casket based on the number of clues that I juggle. Pause if you're curious about any of the math, or just let these images pass you by. You can convert this to see an estimated amount of thieving XP per casket, as well as per clue reward. Hopefully it doesn't take that long, but seeing those numbers really puts it into perspective how long this grind will probably take. Hopefully I don't end up going to 99, which is around 13 million XP. At that point I might just have to stop and figure something else out, I don't know. So, with all that out of the way, it looks like juggling 3 clues is going to be the best balance between being a pain to juggle and increasing my probability of completing the clue. I'm going to give it a try just with these 2 clues, just to make sure I've got the method down. And here's the casket. Oh my god, third clue. Holy sandals. Wow, man. Okay. One piece done out of 3. That's the rarest one too. Just the blessing and the stole now. That's insane. Maybe I'll be out of here sooner than I thought. I still got another 8 prayer levels left to lamp up to 22, so if I get this done too quick, I may need to think of something else. Wow. Wow, man. This is one of the advantages to clue juggling, since I got a bit of a head start on the next juggle, since I've got this one left over. Great luck on this set of clues. Every single step was possible, so I've got 2 caskets and a clue left over. Holy sandals again. Wow. Pretty useless since I've already got a pair, but that's some great luck. Yes, man, there's the blessing. Not too bad. 41 KC, a little dry, but oh well. Just the stole now, and that's a 1 out of 95, so things are going great. Hopefully I'll be out of here soon. Just the note from the future actually changed how clue juggling works after I did this grind. Clues used to despawn every 3 minutes, which is how it was when I did the grind, but recently they actually changed it to last an hour on the ground, which would have made this way easier, but oh well. Okay, that's actually kind of useful, since it'll protect me from the lizardmen when I get teleported out. Not great, but I'll take anything I can get at the moment. I'm on a bit of a dry streak. I'm actually getting kind of close to 99 thieving, so hopefully I'll get out of here before then. That is 95 clues done, just past the drop rate for the stole. Hopefully I get it before 99 thieving. At this point, I got another 25 clues without anything, hit 98 thieving, and I decided to just stack up all the clues I get from 98 to 99 and open them all at once. So here's 99 thieving, and here is the opening of the clues. Okay, let's see. I've got 14 clues, so hopefully I can get the stole. Green D-hide. Drop. Nothing. 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 10 left, come on. Okay, more green D-hide. No. No. Okay, let's throw it in the bank. 6 clues left. Come on. 1 out of 95. Come on, come on, come on. Last one. Nope. Okay, okay. At the turning point. Either I can just wimp out, stop here. I don't know what else I would use for an amulet compared to a stole. Or I just keep grinding it out till I get it, go past 99. Then yeah, I'm not going to wimp out on this. The stole is just way too powerful. Plus 10 prayer is completely insane. So let's keep thieving. Okay, been around a week since the last clip. I just got my last lamp, so that's level 22 prayer. There we go. I can wear void now. And that is double drop rate on the stole. It takes around an hour to get one medium casket on average, so I've been doing this for almost a couple hundred hours so far. Wow, ranger boots, okay. Guess the stole really is the last thing that I'm gonna get from medium clues. Not the one that I was expecting, with both of the boots being like 1 in 280 individually, but here we are, the grind continues. So to continue the story of the background of the account, part number 2, I got cancer. It was a pretty weak form of cancer, unlikely to kill me, but it had spread a decent amount across my body. And to reiterate, yeah, I felt angry at myself for never being able to commit to something and stick to it for long enough to feel accomplished with myself. And now I was in a position where it was up in the air whether that option was going to be there for that long in the future. So I made a list of things that I wanted to get done that I hadn't had the mental consistency to be able to stick with. I wanted to write a book. I wanted to work out consistently and improve my physical health. And yeah, it's just a silly hobby, but I wanted to beat this vegan video game challenge that I'd been kicking around at the back of my head for a couple years. I am now 3 times dry on the stole, so around a 95% chance that I would have got it by now. Nothing I can do but keep grinding. Okay, I just hit my secret goal. 25 prayer, man. I did not think that I was going to hit this during the medium clue grind. But this actually unlocks my prayer training method, so we're going to go on a little side quest here. You might have already guessed it when you saw how many extra points I had stacked up from pest control. But once you hit level 25 in a combat skill, you can use your pest control points to redeem it for XP, so I'll go use those up now. And that's up to 40 prayer, which unlocks the second part of prayer training, which you can do at Soul Wars. That's going to be quite a bit faster than pest control for prayer training, but that's a grind for another time. I'm happy with 40 prayer for now. I just checked my time played on this account, and it's a little over 800 hours, so a pretty long time just to unlock some protection prayers, but I'm glad that I made it this far without having to bury any bones. Keep with the vegan rules. This one might not look like anything special, but this is actually the 100,000th time that I've opened up this stone chest. I've got a little over double 99 thieving now. And there is 30 million thieving XP. Kinda crazy, looking back, thinking that I was considering stopping at 99. But I think I knew deep down that was never really an option. The stole's just way too big of an upgrade. So 30 million XP, hopefully I get it before another 30 million XP. But we'll see, just keep grinding until I get it. That's the only option. Yes, yes, it's over, it's over. 377 medium clues. Oh my god, dude. I'm at like 34 million something thieving XP. Holy crap. A little over 3 months. A little over 3 months. I wasn't thinking it was going to take this long, but it's over. The Inferno plan is moving along amazing. I've already got 7 different pieces of gear, but the next step focuses on obtaining just one item. It's the most important item in the game for this account, and if it didn't exist, then this challenge would be completely impossible. Ranged is really the only viable option for the Inferno. My current best melee weapon I can use is the Dragon Longsword, with other upgrades being minimal, as well as melee Inferno just being a lot more difficult than a ranged Inferno. Magic also isn't really viable. My best spell would be Fire Blast, since I can't get any of the scepters or staves or tridents or anything. However, a ranged Inferno also has its own problem, and that problem's feathers. Feathers aren't vegan since they come from chickens, and both arrows and bolts use feathers, so how am I supposed to complete a ranged Inferno? The answer is that I used a ranged weapon that doesn't need any feathers. There are only 3 such weapons in the game. The Crystal Bow, which requires Roving Elves so I can't access it, the Bofa, which needs Song of the Elves so I can't access it, and then the final weapon, the key to the account, the thing that makes all of this possible, the Crossbow. Obtainable only from Revenants, this weapon uses Revenant Ether to fire instead of arrows, and it has equivalent stats to an imbued magic shortbow using dragon arrows. It's far worse than what people would normally use in the Inferno, but it should be enough to make it possible. Of course, there's a couple of smaller issues that go along with using the crossbow, like the fact that I'm going to need a lot of Revenant Ether to go all the way through the Inferno, and that it's only obtainable in the wilderness. But the biggest problem with planning on using the crossbow is its drop rate. It's a 1 out of 4,605 drop from Rev Pyrofiends when you're Scald. Okay, that doesn't sound so bad. A little bit more common than the Dragon Warhammer. Well, actually, that's not true, since that's the drop rate when you're on task, and I have level 1 Slayer, so I'm never going to actually be killing it on task. So actually, the drop rate is 1 in 23,027. But no, it isn't. I lied again. That's the drop rate after it was buffed in January 2023. That's the buffed rate. And I started this grind before that happened. So the drop rate of the crossbow when I was in the Rev Caves was 1 out of 34,540. To put that into perspective, that's rarer than getting an Abyssal Dagger from an Abyssal Demon, or getting a Smoldering Stone from a Hellhound. It's rarer than flipping a coin and getting heads 15 times in a row. It's 7 times rarer than most boss pets. If every single drop from Revenants was one of these squares, this one would be a crossbow. If you don't see it because the chance is so minuscule, here, I'll zoom in on it for you. I know I'm getting worked up, but I just want to emphasize how ridiculously rare this is. The drop rate was buffed for a reason, and it's still super rare even after that buff. But it's the only weapon that has any possible chance of making an Inferno completion possible. The next best alternative would be Rune Knives, so the crossbow is essentially required. The last section was tough. Getting 34.5 million thieving XP before I got my stole? If I go as dry on this as I went on the stole, I'll be in the Revenant Caves for over a year, easily, maybe even 2 years. But there's nothing to do but get started. I don't know when I'll finish, but I'm going to get that crossbow. If I can't, then this account is over. I can't beat the Inferno without it. But I've got a little preparation to do first. In the last section, I reached 40 prayer from lamping and then turning in my pest control points. So I've unlocked the best prayer training method for my account. Soul Wars. Just like in pest control, it's possible to get points without killing any living things, although I did kill some ghosts. Prayer training this way isn't exactly fast, but it's way faster than lamping. It took me around 3 weeks, but I grinded up from 40 prayer to 72. I also trained my range level a bit more until I hit level 60, which is needed to equip the crossbow, so that as soon as I get that drop, I can start using it. Then for equipment, I bought a whole bunch of strength potions from the Warriors Guild and picked up a bunch of monk robes from the monastery. This is the setup that I'll be killing the Rev Pyrofiends with. I've got the veg balls for healing, and I'll be running back and forth from Edgeville in order to reskull every 20 minutes to keep that buff drop rate. So, here's where I'm going to be spending the next however long of the account. It could take a day, it could take a week, it could even take over a year if I go really dry. I do need to train up my combat stats anyways, since I want to have 99 hit points for the Inferno. but it would be a big weight off my shoulders if I can just spoon this bow early. Let's take a closer look at the items that I can get from Revenants and what's going to come in handy. The most valuable is the crossbow, of course, but Revenants also drop my Destin slot melee and magic weapons. The Amulet of Avarice also has the same stats as a Glory and gives bonus damage and accuracy against Revenants. The reason why I could use this amulet, but not other ones, assuming that I get it, is that this one doesn't look like it's using a ball of wool, the string's black instead of white, and you also can't craft it, so seems vegan to me. The other valuable item that would be great to get would be Dragon Stones, since I could use them to make Rings of Wealth, which would let me teleport out of the Rev Caves to the Grand Exchange, rather than needing to run all the way back to Ferox at the end of each trip. Those are pretty common, so hopefully I get some soon. To that, I'm just going to turn on Protect item and let myself die. It's not worth wasting my time healing and just... I'm going to die anyway, so I might as well get it over with so I can get back up here and killing Revs. I wonder how many deaths I'll have by the time I get this done. Just for reference, I'm going to be taking this canoe to get back to Edgebill so that I can reskull and get back out there. And then this pool by Ferox refills my HP and prayer on the way. And there's my first decent drop, 2 magic seeds. Completely useless on this account, so I'm not going to bother leaving the caves to bank them, but nice to see the green text. First, Dragon Stones, 5 as well, that's awesome. So I need to raise up my stats a little bit so that I can actually turn them into Rings of Wealth, but I really wanted these because I can use them to teleport out from under 30 wilderness instead of 20, and it also puts me directly at the Grand Exchange, so super quick to teleport out, bank, and then get back out there again. Awesome. So I got 40 mining, 40 smithing, 55 crafting, and 65 magic. And then I boosted up using the Wizard's Mind Bond to get to 68 so that I could enchant them. And then you can charge them up at the Fountain of Rune in the Deep Wilderness. And that's the Revenant boss. There's a chance that it spawns every time you kill a Rev. I have no hope at all of killing it, so I'm just gonna hop. Yes, man. That's what those rings are for. So first I'm using one to escape. Annoying that I need to go through the dialogue to get out, so I think I'm just gonna equip it instead. And then I can just hover over the teleport option in the future. Okay, first unique, Ancient Emblem, let's get out of here. 500k, so the cheapest one, but you can't complain. And I checked the collection log after, and I got that at 552 KC. Okay, that's not what you want to see when you're in the wildy. I guess I'm gonna hop. And that notches off 1,000 revs KC, so a little bit under 3% of the way to drop rate. Sweet, another unique Ancient Totem. This is so bizarre. The spot keeps coming up here, but every time I stand next to him, he tellies away because he thinks I'm gonna attack him. But he never bothers switching worlds or anything. He's done it like 5 times now. I only just realized, apparently there's a minigame teleport to Ferox. I've been running through the cave after every trip, so this will definitely speed things up. And it's nice that this resets every 20 minutes, because that's how long my skull lasts anyway. There's another unique Ancient Statuette. And I haven't been including my deaths, because it's pretty boring to just watch me die. But that was my last Ring of Wealth, so I guess I'm back to stuck running to Ferox every time. Never mind. Someone in the Snowflakes clan just said apparently you can get him from the chest deep in the wildy. I should have just come here to begin with. Hey, first chest too. There's the big one, 16 mil, ancient relic. Crap, I'm out of Ring of Well charges, so guess I'm running this one back. And that one was a 2,778 KC, 1 out of 6908 drop, so pretty lucky. What? It's been like an hour or two since the last one. No way, man. This doesn't make any sense. Still the same night, another one of the 16 mil. This is just bizarre. There's the first ancient crystal. If I get 3 more of these, I can make that obelisk in my house. I probably won't ever do it, but might be nice. A lot of these ancient drops are just exchanged for straight GP. GP is actually pretty useless on my account, so I'm just going to be stacking all this up in the bank and see how much I have by the end of the grind. Wait, the bot got the 500k emblem, but I made him telly, and I don't think he actually picked it up. I guess we'll see in a minute. Yeah, it's right there. I guess it's gonna despawn since I can't pick it up. And there is 5,000 KC. Pretty good luck. No rolls on the unique table yet, but that's 1 out of 6908 for any unique. So not quite at rate. And I'm around 15% of the way to the being on rate for the crossbow. Right after, that's a nice one. 8 mil FG. This was another funny one. I was definitely gonna die, but then the PKer accidentally attacked the Rev, so I was out of combat for 10 seconds, and I just logged out. And there is KC 6,908, so I'm technically on rate for getting at least 1 unique. It's been 37 days since I started this grind, so at this pace, getting, or at least going on rate for getting the crossbow, will be 185 days, around 6 months. So I really hope I don't go 2 times, 3 times, 4 times dry. I really don't want to spend multiple years here, but I guess we'll see. There's the medallion, last clog slot that I can get. Other than the uniques, of course. That puts me over 100 million gold from Rev so far, into the 9 figures. Check this out. RuneLate just added menu entry swapper for equipped items, so now I can just left-click my ring to teleport out instead of having to hover over that menu, so that should be a lot nicer. And there's 80 HP. Training is going along nicely. Every HP level counts in the Inferno, of course. Relic number 4. Stings a little bit because that's the exact same rate as getting a unique, and I've hit it 4 times now, but 16 mil is 16 mil. And that's the 4th crystal. So I could make that thing in my POH if I grinded my construction up, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. It's a really short run from Ferox anyway, so not worth it. And there's 90 strength getting up there. Been a few weeks since the last one. That's relic number 5. On the bright side, I've been here long enough, my stats have gone up, so killing these things is actually going by decently fast now. Oh, 2 PKers at once. Just my luck. And that is kill number 13,816, so double the drop rate on a unique now. And there's another PKer. Oh, I can't believe that worked. Nothing feels better than getting the gaff on a PKer, man. And there is 80 attack. Oh, okay. Relic number 6. I really wish that these were rolls on the unique table instead. So, up to 96 mil only from these, the big 16 mil relics. Absolutely crazy. That one came in at 14,377 KC. Wow, number 7. It's been 2 months now since I started, still no rolls on the unique table. And that one just put me over 250 note from Ravs. Pretty useless, but nice to see that big number. And that is 3 times drop rate, 20,724 KC. 94 strength. That might be the last strength level I get, because I won't get another max hit for a long time unless I get a new weapon, which is very unlikely. So I'm going to switch to training attack instead. Okay. Jagex has just added one of the absolute worst updates possible in the Rev Cave. I don't know what they were thinking, but now you need to wait 4 ticks, so 2.5 seconds-ish, before you can teleport out. And that's interruptible if the Rev that you're in the middle of killing hits you. So from now on, escaping from PKers is just impossible, because the deck is just so stacked against the Rev killers. You know, obviously I'm on a Snowflake, so, you know, I'm just going to die anyway. But this change is just insane. Completely insane. Obviously nothing I can do about it. I can, you know, complain to myself as much as I want, but that's how it's going to be. It's not going to stop me from getting the crossbow, so just got to keep grinding it out. Oh, relic number 8. Bank it. Keep going. And this is 25,000 KC. It's been 95 days since I started this grind. Here's a cool update. You can actually see your KD now. So I have 0 kills and 129 deaths. Yeah, fair enough. so probably around 25 mil lost to PKers so far. I usually lose like 200k per death, so. And there is 4 times dry. 27,632 kills. No drops so far. That's 89 attack. I'm gonna swap to defense now. Assuming that I calculated everything out properly, I should hit 99 HP, 99 defense, 99 ranged, all at roughly the same time without needing to get too much extra XP. So, swapping to defense now. And now I am at 500 million from revs. Maybe I'll make it all the way to 1 billion, but I really hope not. Okay, that was probably my luckiest escape ever. So 1 HP, and the only reason that I survived is because the combat level difference between us got too high for the level of the wilderness once I ran south. Completely, that's the craziest escape I've done so far. You are not going to believe this, but I'm now at 34,540 KC. So 5 times dry on getting a unique, and this is also the exact drop rate of a crossbow. It's been 133 days. No drops so far. No closer than I was on day 1, but oh well, the grind continues on. It's been another 2,000 or 3,000 kills. I just hit 340,000 Revenant Ether, which should be enough to get me straight to 99 ranged once I actually get the crossbow. So I won't have to do any kind of weird training with picking up bronze knives or anything like that again. I should just be able to use my crossbow for the whole rest of this account. This is kind of funny. The only way that I've been training my woodcutting is from canoeing back after every death. And I am now at 50 woodcutting just from taking the canoe over and over. And that's another relic. 9 times now that I've hit the relic table instead of the unique table. That is crazy. I don't even know what I'm going to do with all the GP, because GP is like useless on this account. Oh my god, finally, the curse is broken. A unique. I don't even care, it's the worst one. Just the fact that I see anything at all is crazy. I'm not actually going to be using this scepter to kill the revs, even though it's really great against them. I just want to save all my Revenant Ether for trading up my range, as well as the attempts at the Inferno. A poll just came out about improving the drop rates of the Revenant weapons. Part of me wants it because I've been grinding here for around 5 months. But on the other hand, I think it would feel pretty deflating if I go all this way without getting it, and then they buff the drop rates, and then I get it right after. I think that would just feel kind of anticlimactic. But I guess we'll see. Yes, man, yes! Oh my god, that's such a big upgrade. I can't believe it. That's equivalent in stats to Dragon Skim. I've been using a Dragon Longsword this whole time. By the way, if that wasn't clear. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, not the crossbow, but better than the Thamron Scepter, that's for sure. From now on, I'm just gonna always keep Protect Item on, because I cannot afford to lose that. So even if I DC or something, I'll keep Protect Item on as soon as I log in until the time I log off. That's fine, man, that's fine. At least I'm getting uniques now. I'm so paranoid that I'm gonna lose it that I'm just gonna do a few kills of Edion in case I spoon Ring of the Gods. And I'm also gonna get level 80 Prayer at Pest Control, just to decrease the chance that I get smited, because I do not want to lose this mace. Nothing from Vedion. I did the 20 KC for the combat achievements, but I'm gonna head back to Revs. I got level 80 Prayer, because I didn't want to get smited for the mace. Took around 2 weeks. This one doesn't look like much, just another ancient crystal, but this is actually the 100th unique drop that I got from the Revs. 48,033 KC. I've been here for 176 days, so I get a unique like every day or two. Not that bad when you look at it that way, but on the other hand, I've been here almost 6 months, and I still don't have the crossbow, so what can you do? Yes, man, yes. Okay, come on, click it. Okay, this is such a good upgrade. Such a good upgrade. You get an extra 20% accuracy and damage bonus, and I never need to go back to Edgeville to reskull again. I can just stay out in the Rev Caves as long as I have enough prayer, without having to worry about being smited. I already ran the DPS check ahead of time, and using the Avarice with the Dragon Longsword is better DPS than using the Mace without the Avarice. Of course, it would be better with both, but then if I get killed, I'm going to lose one of them, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, in my heart, I kind of knew it was going to be this way. The only item that I'm missing now is the bow. 48,758 KC so far. There's nothing new to see now. Just the crossbow, that's all I need. I'll see you on the other side. So, to conclude the account backstory, part 3, I made a plan for all the things I wanted to do after I was healthy again. I got treatment, and it worked. After a couple months, the tumors were no longer growing, so I was cured, I was discharged, and then I got back to life with a new level of effort and drive. I could force myself to stick with things since now I knew what the alternative was. I started writing my book. It was absolutely terrible, terrible writing, but I stuck with it. I kept up with my workout plan, and I managed to run a half marathon earlier in the year with plans to run a full one next summer, hopefully. And I started on the Vegan versus Up challenge, 2 to 3 hours a night after work for a couple years, with a little bit more on the weekend. And just the ability to work on these different activities that I knew would take hundreds or thousands of hours, instead of it feeling like a slog like it did before, it felt like I was really lucky to have that time in my future. Because my life after cancer just feels so much more meaningful than the life I had before cancer. Oh my god. Oh my god. I got it. I got it. I got it. Oh my god. Crossbow. Crossbow. Holy crap, dude. Okay, let's pull it out. Let's see this. Let's see how it looks. In the ether to charge it. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't believe it, dude. Finally! Crossbow. Oh, that looks amazing. I can't believe I actually got it, dude. And before the buff, too. I was talking about the poll where they were going to buff the drop rates, and how I feel kind of disappointed, but I got it before they buffed it. $56,234 KC, 191 days. Took a little bit over 6 months, but I made it. And the craziest part of all of this grind was not the hardest part of this account. This grind was not the longest grind of this account, because the final part of the Inferno plan, the Inferno itself, was without a doubt the absolute hardest thing I have ever done in RuneScape or any other video game ever. I've reached the point where I'm almost completely ready for the Inferno in terms of gear. The only piece remaining is my cape, which I should be able to knock out pretty quickly. I'm going to be using a 99 HP cape for its perk of double HP regeneration. It doesn't sound great, but it's actually going to be very useful. I also want to get 99 ranged and 99 defense while I'm at it, since both of those are very important in the Inferno too. First, I'll get 99 ranged using my new crossbow. I'm going to be killing undead druids for my 99 range grind. This is so that I can get grubby keys, which are my only method of getting prayer potions, ranged potions, and torstals, which I can exchange for stamina potions with Dr. Jekyll. That reveals a lot in my supplies for the Inferno. I'll also be getting hard clues along the way. I don't think there's anything actually useful that I can get from them, but you never know. I'm not going to bother with juggling them, I'm just going to do them as they come along and open it at the end. Okay, there's 99 ranged. Let's go open these clues. So we've got 4 hard clues. Nothing. 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 And the last one. Oh! Okay. That's not bad. It's not an upgrade. I had a rune kite shield anyway, but that's better for stashing, so I guess I'll be using that in the Inferno. I ended up getting 70 prayer potions, going all the way to 99 ranged, so they are incredibly precious. I can't be wasting them on failing attempts. I'm gonna go finish off 99 defense and 99 HP, so I'll come back when that's knocked out. There's 99 defense. There's 99 hit points. And I also got 80 magic just to have a little bit of extra magic defense. Now, there's only one item left to get for the Inferno. It's really easy to get, at least it's just a Rune Throne axes, which I can buy from the Ranging Guild. The reason that I want them is because I'll be using its special attack on the Nibblers at the start of every wave. I don't have access to Ancient Magic, and I can't use Chins, because that's not vegan, of course. So this is as good as it gets. They're pretty terrible, but it's a lot better than if I had nothing at all. So can't complain too much. There is 10,000 Throne Axes, which should be way more than I ever need. I now have every single item and stat ready to go for the Inferno. I guess there is one more thing. You can't actually enter the Inferno unless you've sacrificed a fire cape. So I'm going to go and knock that out quick. I don't want to waste any supplies on the fight caves, since getting prayer potions and some replies is a hassle. So I'm going to try to beat it just with purple sweets that I got from my medium clue grind, and Janger berries, since those heal 1 prayer point for every berry. So go get that done. You might be thinking that 80 prayer points plus Janger berries isn't going to be enough to get me through the fight caves. And that's right. The only reason that you can do this is because of a technique called prayer flicking. The short explanation of that is that if you turn off a prayer on the same tick that the prayer activates, then your prayer points don't actually drain at all. You can use this a couple different ways. Lazy prayer flicking is if you turn on your prayer the tick before the MTC attacks and turn off the prayer on the same tick that it's attacking. This gives you full protection for the tick that the prayer's up without using any prayer points. There's another method called one tick flicking that involves continuously turning your prayer off and on every tick. Because the prayer was never left on for longer than one tick, it never drains. And because you're turning it off and on every single tick, you're always protected. The drawback of this is that you need to be clicking your prayer book 2 times every tick, which can make it kind of difficult to do anything other than maintain the one tick flicking. So it can be tricky to move around the arena or eat food or restore prayer while you're one tick flicking. You can also alternate between different protection prayers while you're one tick flicking so that your prayer never drains, but you can still swap between them. Of course, this takes a bit more effort than just normal one tick flicking. There we go. Nice and easy warm up. The Inferno isn't giving me anything like this. I'm hoping I'll be able to beat it in like a month or two maybe. I'm really not good at KVM. I've only beaten the Inferno one time before on my main Ironman, and it took me over 70. So don't expect any good gameplay, because that's not really my strong suit. The only thing that I'm good at is just hammering myself against the wall until I beat something. So however long it takes, just gonna keep trying. It's January right now, so if I could get it done in March or something, that would just be perfect. This is where the path has been leading me for the last 18 months. And now I am so close to beating this challenge that I can taste it. The end is in sight. But what is the Inferno exactly? If you haven't been in there before, it works a lot like the Fight Caves, but just amped up. So 66 waves of monsters, and then 3 boss waves to finish it off. There are 3 types of monsters in the Inferno. The first are nibblers. They don't attack you directly, but they attack the pillars that you can use to safe spot enemies. People usually ice barrage them at the start of each wave, but since I don't have ancients, I'll be using my Rune Throne Axes. Rune Throne Axe's special attack makes it bounce from monster to monster, so it's perfect against these guys. The next ones are the Bat and the Blob. They attack on a 3 and a 6 tick cycle, the Bat always using ranged, and the Blob using whatever you aren't praying against. The other monsters are the Meleeer, Ranger, and Major. They all attack on a 4-tick cycle, which can make it tricky to flick between the Bat or the Blob in them. If you hide from the melee, he digs underground and appears next to you, and the Major can respawn monsters that have already died that wave. Because I don't have Blood Barrage to heal myself, at the end of each wave I need to hide behind a pillar and let my health regenerate naturally. My HP cape doubles the regen rate, which is why it's so important. I heal 2 per minute, so I'm usually waiting 20 to 30 minutes after each wave. It doesn't sound like that much, but added up over the course of 66 waves, each attempt at the Inferno takes me over 10 hours, usually spread out over the course of 3 to 4 real-life days. There we go, first time to wave number 50, around 3 weeks in. This is where it gets hardest because you can have both the major and the ranger spawn at the start, and they can really just stack you out. It's been 2 months now. It's March 27th, and the furthest that I've made it is wave 55. So I'm not hitting my end of March completion original goal that I had. I tried to move one tile east so the melee wouldn't see me, but I must have misclicked. Wave 59, new PB, June 19th. So 4.5 months spent here so far. I can't believe that I thought I'd be done with this in March. This is just so much harder than I thought. Yeah, this isn't working out. I'm gonna go digging just for any inferno information or help or tips that I can find and figure out a plan. Here's something I want to try. I remember hearing about it a few years ago. It's called scouting. The idea is that after the NPCs appear, you take a quick screenshot and then you log out, and then you look at your screenshot to try to make a plan for where you want to run, what you're going to attack, how you're going to pray, and then you log in and you try to execute that plan. There is one downside. If any of the monsters see you in that split second before you log out, they'll be able to attack you, so you'll start the next wave with less health than normal. So I'm going to need to find a starting location where nobody can see me. It turns out that there aren't any spots where there's no NPC that has a chance of seeing you at the start, but there is a location where only one thing can see you, directly underneath one of the spawns. So if something does appear on top of you, it takes a tick before it can move over and attack. And the only other thing that can see you is all the way in the southeast. And while I was testing this out and learning how it works, I actually discovered something else. Using this method, you can control which direction the nibblers go at the start of every wave. Because it's randomly decided at the start, I can just keep logging out and logging in until I get them to go where I want. So to recap this new method, I stand in the northwest corner and take a picture of where everything will spawn. I log out and I make a plan for how I want to approach the wave. And then I log in and log out until I get the nibblers to go the direction that I want. I haven't tried it in a run yet, but this strategy seems extremely broken. It's time to dive back in. Just hit terribly, and I didn't expect the bats to do so much damage as well. But just the fact that I made it back to my PB wave in only 5 days, when last time it took me 5 months, shows how powerful these discoveries are. Yep, I am at wave 6-7, the very first of the boss lays. It took me 14.5 hours to get here, and 3 doses of prayer potion, so I really hope I don't plank immediately. Jad and triple Jads went smoothly once I realized that the Inferno versions don't respawn healers if you let Jad get back to full health. I took a little bit of damage and I had to just sit there prayer flicking for 15 minutes while I healed, but I made it through. Okay, that's it. I've done it. So September 17th, 7 months and 20 days after starting the Inferno grind. So I've actually been in here longer than I was in the Rev Caves, because that was 191, I think. That's shocking to me. I can't believe that I thought I was going to have this beaten by March when I'm still going at it like 6 months later. Only one wave left. Zuck. It is completely possible that I will be done with this account 30 minutes from now. During this fight, a barricade moves left and right. You need to stand behind it or you'll take massive damage. Every 3.5 minutes, a range or a major spawn, which I'll need to kill off. My food situation sucks, so I'll need to pray against both of them, which only works if they're attacking on different ticks. If they're on the same tick, I'm probably screwed. You can control when they'll attack you based on when you attack them. And that is the core of Zuck's difficulty on this account. Getting them to attack me at different times, and then praying against them properly. No, man, no, they're attacking on the same tick. Oh, what did I do wrong? No. Man, no. Come on. Come on. Unfortunately, I thought I understood how off-taking them worked, but I was wrong. All I could do was keep moving forward and hope that the rest of the fight went smoothly. Luckily, the next two sets were fine. Perfect off-ticks and prayer flicks. Now Zuck was down to half HP. You want to knock him under half right after a set spawns, so I waited for the Major and Rager to appear. Then knocked Zuck under half while flicking the set. There. Now that he's under 600, I can kill this set as normal. I brought Zuck down to 480, where the next obstacle appears. Jad. I needed to fight Jad while continuously moving with the barricade, and then after he spawned healers, I needed to flick prey melee in between Jad's hits. Otherwise, I would use up all my food. There's my second major mistake. I can't attack Jad from the left side without being on long range, so when I attacked him, I got dragged out from behind the barricade and Zuck saw me. I was incredibly lucky that I didn't die in a single hit. And then, because I was so panicked, I was a tick late on my Jad flick, so I got chanced again. But I survived. Was luck on my side? Was this account really going to be completed tonight? The final obstacle Zuck has happens at 240 HP, where he spawns healers that throw rocks at you, doing area damage. I'm pretty much guaranteed to take damage here as I kill the healers. The only question is how much. I've got 3.5 Summer Pies left. Will that be enough to survive? If I beat healers, the Inferno Cape is essentially guaranteed. No, it's just too much damage. Okay, yeah. 1 HP. That's it. "15 hours to get there, and I choked. Back to wave 1. And only 4 days later, I was back to Zuck again. Round 2. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. It's the same tick again. It's the same tick again. Oh. Zuck number 3. I failed it again. There was something else I was missing. And then I realized what had gone wrong. It was because the crossbow was such a long-range weapon, it wasn't behaving exactly like the optics that I was talking to others about. When I was standing on that tile, it took 3 ticks to reach the ranger, not 2 ticks. After that realization, I spent some time making a spreadsheet containing every possible situation, along with which ticks it would be safe to attack on. And on my very next run, I was back at Zuck again for the 4th time. And it worked. The off-taking issue was solved. Set 2. Set 3. Set 4 with the Zuck attacks. I was halfway through the fight and I hadn't been hit once. I spawned Jad, no mistakes. I killed Jad having lost only 11 HP. Set 5 down. Set 6. And then it was time for my rematch with the healers. Only this time I had 13.5 summer pies. I killed Set 7's ranger no problem. And not Zuck under 240 HP. This was it. Nothing could go wrong. I killed the healers and finished off Set 7's major. I was so close to the end, and I had plenty of heals. Set 8 spawned. Spawns after the healers are actually quite a bit harder, because Zuck attacks more frequently, which means you need to move to keep up with the barricade more often, but I got it again. Set 9 spawned. Another perfect one. Zuck was down to 200 HP now. Only one set remains. Set 10 spawned. And I off-ticked them. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I was too late on one flick, took damage, and my internal counter broke. I prayed ranged against the major, mage against the ranger, and took 24, 34, 67, dead. 270 days, 9 months after entering the Inferno, 2,500 hours on the account, and I failed. I failed Zuck 5 in under a minute. I failed Zuck 6 after a 12-hour session that lasted all Saturday. I failed Zuck 7 and was nearing the end of my rope. I was starting to doubt I could ever actually beat him. And then, Zuck 8. I got good hits, and I managed to bring Zuck under half health during set 3 instead of set 4. My good RNG continued, killed Jad quickly, and I brought Zuck down to 341 by the time set 5 appeared. Now it was healers, after handling set 6. I risked it too much, down to 29 HP, and I had to eat 9 pieces of summer pie. And suddenly I couldn't attack anymore. I freaked out. Did I run out of ether? Did the game glitch? I've never seen this before. But everyone else here uses brews, which have no attacking delay. My 9 pieces of summer pie, they do. And by eating so many in a row, they stop me from attacking for 16 seconds. And then, just as quickly, I could attack again. I'm so close now, I just need to hang on a little longer. I cleared out the rest of the healers. And I finished off set 6's major. I had been here before. With only 452 HP to go, I calculated in my head I probably only had to complete 2 more sets to get the cape. 2 more off ticks and it would all be over. I had only dealt 120 damage between the sets, when I usually average 250 to 300. Okay, that's fine. That just means I'll need to do another one. 2 more off ticks, and it would all be over. Set 8 spawned, and I managed to off tick them. $327 HP left. Maybe I could even kill Zuck before another set spawned. Right before set 9 appeared, there were 2 options in my head. I could continue as normal and risk a 10th set spawning, the same thing that had killed me the last time I made it here, or I could leave the major alive and desperately try to kill Zuck before they appear again. A split second later and my decision is made. I'm going all in, I'm risking it, but first I need to complete one last off tick and prayer flick. One, two, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. The ranger dies. My heart is pounding in my chest as I start counting down my time left. If the timer reaches 0 before I kill Zuck, then I'm dead. It's over. I had only done 50 out of 180 damage. I started to doubt my plan. Should I give up? Should I just kill the major and hope that I can finish it off before the next set spawns? I was paralyzed, and then I started to hit. 23, 19, 0, 10. Another string of zeros. 70 HP remained, with 90 seconds left. Yep. Yep. Yes! Yes! It's over! It's over! Oh my god, I can't believe it. Oh, it doesn't feel real. Oh my god, it doesn't feel real. I can't believe this. Zuck number 8. Oh my god, dude. It's over. I did it. I can't believe it. Vegan versus Zuck is over. And 11 hours after starting the Inferno, 8 Zuck attempts, over 50 Inferno attempts, north of 2,700 hours spent on this goal, I beat Zuck. Account complete. So, I beat Zuck on a vegan Ironman. I know it's just some silly video game from over 20 years ago, but that, along with writing and running, made me realize that putting a real effort into something for an extended length of time just feels good. Without forcing myself to do something difficult, forcing myself to learn and try and push myself, I wasn't really living life. And if I hadn't gotten cancer, I never would have learned that lesson, never would have written a book, never would have ran a half marathon, never would have completed this ridiculous Runescape challenge. I am not sure exactly what the future holds, but I know that whatever it is, I'm going to put my full effort in and stick with it, even though it took me a while to learn how. Thank you to Jagex for creating this fantastically deep game. Thank you to the Snowflakes clan for all their incredible support, both in-game and with creating this video. And thank you for watching this and coming with me on this journey. So long.